G'day everyone, welcome back to Tom's Brook Farm. I am in Henry's ute. So at the moment I've got Bill on behind me. Henry's already headed down to the paddock. He's got the tractor and the spreader. We're going to go down and do some lime. I'll put up a screenshot now. That is the prediction for rain for next week. Now, whenever you look at the BOM website, you've always got to be careful. It's very risky to go off that. You know, if you think you're going to get rain like that, you go out and you go spreading all your urea during the growing season, and then you're going to get 5 mils out of all that. But there's a potential for a lot of rain to happen next week, so I'm not taking the chance. We're just going to go and get spreading on this lime, and hopefully it spreads all right. So that's going to be the mission for the morning, to get the spreader set up and rolling. From the last video, you'll notice that we've got some extra lime delivered. So it turns out we didn't have all of our lime delivered the other day. We had 2 trucks rock up yesterday. Now, one thing on our gravel carting list is to gravel this track, because this turns to slop. Looks fine until you drive on it, and then it's a lot of fun. You skid everywhere, but a truck has no traction. And well, they made an absolute mess turning around, and then they were only able to dump there on our gravel pad, which it got them unloaded, but it's very disappointing that was where it got dumped, because we don't like to lift off the gravel. 1, you ruin your pad. 2, you're putting gravel rocks into the spreader and it just damages it. So one of the concerns for today with spreading is that because the lime is wet, it's going to spread all chunky, not nice and fine and powdery. This is just something we're going to have to see and see what happens when Henry gets spreading. But if we leave this until it's properly dried out and then try and spread this, so obviously not next week with all that rain, let's say the week after or the week after that. Couple reasons: way too close to seeding. We don't want to be spreading when we're that close to seeding. We've done it before, it gets very difficult. But the other is the lime will just wash itself away. It'll just stay wet. The paddocks will probably be too wet to get on. Henry, not that it would matter because I could jump on it, but Henry will be out spraying once all this stuff starts growing. So it's going to be great. We're going to be able to get a double knock now. I can already see a green tinge happening over the paddock from the 11 mils last week, plus the 32 mils the other day, and who knows, potentially, let's just say 5 to 30, 40 mils next week. You couldn't honestly ask for a better start for seeding if that happens. So fingers crossed. Henry's going to start loading. I need to go back and get my ute and get the trays. Then we're going to have some fun with putting the trays out and seeing what sort of spread we can get, and we'll just see what happens with the lime. That's alright, it's time for the dreaded trays again. So for those who are unaware, we throw the trays out and we then measure them in this little funnel system here, and we can get a representation of how even we're spreading across the board. With the gypsum, it wasn't ideal, but it was okay. And with lime, so gypsum, we went 1 tonne to hectare. I'll go into it a bit more, but we're going a 1.5 tonne to the hectare of lime. So we are spreading more out. So it should be a bit better trying to get to the centre this time, because you've got the more product out the back getting onto the spinners, which means that everything's spinning a bit faster. The belts will be going faster, everything like that. So see how we go. Might not actually be too bad. You can see what I'm meaning, see how light and fluffy it is, and how I'm going to have to move my car. No, it's going to go the other side. You can see how light and dusty it is, and how what I'm meaning is it's really hard to spread. So with those chunks of lime, the wet chunks are obviously going to spread a bit further. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He's coming up now. I'm safe to walk up. That's all right. That's all right. Even the centre's looking okay. Probably could do a bit more in the centre. Yeah. That's why we spread middle, go side, and then go side, because I was standing in the centre there and got hit. So it's yeah, you got to make sure you do that to get an even spread pattern recording. If you just do one pass like what we used to, you're not getting an even pattern. All right, so our spread pattern is like that. And I know what some people are going to comment, this is why you don't have the wings, it's so much harder to get the centre. Yeah, it is so much harder to get the centre, but it means also on a windier day we can keep spreading because we're already 3 metres out from the sides, so it means we don't need to spread as far. But that as a spread pattern I'm actually pretty happy with. Yes, the centre is lacking a little bit, but yeah, without changing drop points, which we can't actually physically do, it gets really difficult to try and move things around. So we're just going to roll like that. If it gets drier during the day, I'll come and check it again. Just make sure that when it's getting fluffier, it's actually spreading to where it's supposed to. So yeah, we'll get him underway. Also, one thing with lime is, and I'm assuming gypsum as well if you spread it at such a high rate. We obviously don't spread it at such a high rate, but the lime, you can physically see it on the ground, which is quite nice. So this is obviously lime, and this square just here is where the tray was. So you've got a difference in, well, you can see that it's actually getting to the ground. Having some rain coming will be good, it'll help soak it in. And yeah, Henry's going to get roaring, he's going to go and do his outside lap. We're starting from that side of the paddock, working that way. We've got, I think I've ordered enough for about 300 hectares. This paddock is 465. So yeah, we're not doing the whole paddock. I'll get into that in a sec. Okay, I've got some signal now on my phone, so I can try and show you guys the plan of attack that we're doing out there. Now bear with me, it's not gonna, this really doesn't show up too well for you. I am sorry. What I might do is I'll zoom in and I can take a screenshot and then overlay these and show that for you. And you can see the colours I'm talking about, I guess. So this is our soil sample plan from this year. We'll see if we can do this. We can see it. We'll see how we go. I know it's blurry. Bear with me. So this is actually combining 2 years of soil sample results. Basically, when you look at this map, anything that is blue is high or good. Green is good, and orange is needs work. So when I'm talking about that, that's purely just pH. So I can go into them and look through all of them, and we can see your organic carbons, your sulfurs, well, a lot of things actually. So anyway, what we're doing is we are in this paddock just here, and you can see how from this side, so this is the east, this is the west, north, south. So from the east to the west, we've got some marginal pHs, and then the last 100 hectares is actually quite good. So I'll just click on, see if I can pull it up, click on it, and we'll have a look. But our plan is to, well, lime brings up your pH, and when your pH in your soil gets below 5, it is really hard to bring it back up. So it you need to use like a lot of lime. We had it in one of our paddocks, actually just up there, and we were doing 3 tonne to the hectare of lime. It's a lot of labour. You got to drive slower, obviously, because there's just so much product coming out on the spinners that it can't actually keep up. So Henry's doing 1.5 tonnes. He reckons he might get about 10 hectares a box. He was doing 1 tonne with the gypsum, and he was getting 17 hectares. with 3 tonne, you're only getting like 5 hectares or 7 hectares, something like that. So it's not ideal to show you on this, but you can see, oh, there we go. So that one there is 5.10, not that you can probably see that. Over here we've got multiple sites. So that was 5.3, and if we look up here at our good site, that's 8.2. So that's actually probably a bit too high. In the greens, I'll just tell you what it is instead of trying to show you. 6.3. So where we are in the oranges is where we're actually, there's a few of the sites that might be at like a 4.8 to a 4.9. Most of it's about 5.1 to like 5.3, and we're doing just a blanket rate the whole way across because it's all pretty even, our soil pH along here, of 1.5 tonne to the hectare, and it's just we're just managing our soil. We're trying to bring the pH back up. We don't want it to drop down too low, and if it does, it's a nightmare. Now we only do lime on a very small scale. We target like a paddock a year. A lot of farmers will do thousands of tons of lime, but yeah, we just don't have the budget to do that. So yeah, we'll leave Henry to go and spread away. Like I said, I'll come back down and throw the trays out if we need to, but that spread pattern I'm actually pretty happy with. So I'm going to head to the shed. I have no idea what goes on with this GoPro sometimes. It does that. Let's see if the GoPro will work now. I don't know what happens with it. Sometimes it just has a hissy fit. But yeah, anyway, what I was going to say was I'm going to head to the shed now, and I'm going to have a go getting those gearboxes off those terminators, clean all the terminators up, put them where they need to go, and yeah, that'll keep me busy for a little while anyway. So that's what I'm going to go do. So I've just cleaned everything up in here a bit. They're still there. I've put the spindles and the flails up in the loft, so they're up there up top, and I'm just going to take these around to the back of the shed where we'll deal with them at a later date. When we get around there, I'll show you what we've got. We've got old ones around there. Then when I come back in, what I need to do is I need to lift these up so that I can access the pulley underneath to get the belt off, to then pull the gearbox off. So I'm not too sure how I'll lift these. Not sure if I'll just go a chain underneath the centre there and lift it. We'll go on an angle, but yeah, we'll figure something out, and then we can get those gearboxes off, which will be nice. So we've got the old ones here. So these are what's called a high flow. So they have got just 2 cages, so 1, 2, and then the outside is just got these bolts here. Now we switched to the high flows because in here, this is just your standard mill. So this has got 3 stages. So you can see surely there's one in the middle and then one on the inside. Now we went away from these to the high flows for we were blocking in when we're going into green canola, and also when you're coming up to, we don't have much radish on this farm, but where we do, it's always green at harvest time. So green radish, you're going through that, and then it would just block up in the outside mill, so the outside stage of the cage, to then block the centre. It blocks all of it, and it was a nightmare. So that's just user error, that's not terminator error. So that's why we went to the high flow. So these ones are about a 98% kill rate, and those ones over there I think are like a 92% kill rate. So still killing everything, but most things, you're still doing something. And we weren't getting our blocking issue, which was causing us to smoke belts and cause damage to the mills. So yeah, we went to that. This is a very, very worn rotor. So you can see these are quite low compared to these. These ones have still got lots of life in them, and these ones here, we used all the life out of those. So what I'll do, I've also got all the covers and stuff. I'll bring them around here, and then I think what we'll do is when Henry's finished with all the spreading and stuff. So next week sometime, if it's not too wet, we'll chuck everything on the back of the Shepherd and we'll take it all down to the rock. And that way it's not an eyesore here. And yeah, it's down there and out of the way. And if ever we need to make a garden ornament or something out of it, we can go get it. Alright, I've got it lifted up precariously. It's on my earthquake test. This isn't going to shift anymore. I'm just going to grab the gun, just undo that pulley, and then we'll be right. The belt's proving a bit difficult. So when the guys from Seed Terminator took it off, if you can see up there, they've flipped the belt over the pulley, but it's stuck underneath the pulley. I need it to go over the top. And so I've undone the tensioner, so that's the idle pulley it's stuck on, and I can't really shift it around. And when I am, it's moving the whole unit quite a lot. These things are quite heavy. I'm on my own. I don't really want to keep having my arm underneath this thing, and yeah, I've got it there, and I've been wobbling it. It's not going to fall, but just I don't want to risk having my arm caught under there. So what I'm going to do is just sacrilege, but I'm going to just cut this belt, and then I can get the gearbox off freely. We don't have anything that runs those 2 rib belts anymore. Obviously it was the Terminators, but like I said in the previous video, we've gone to, well, the new one is, so this belt ran this mill, and then there was another belt down here, and that ran that mill. Now it's just one big 4 rib belt, and it runs both mills at the same time. So yeah, this belt is now useless to us. So I'm just going to cut it. It's safer for me, and we don't need it. So I'm cutting it. There we go. And there is the gearbox. There's one heavy sucker. So I'll put those bolts back in there. I'll also give it a clean because there's stubble and stuff stuck in there. And with the other one, I'll chuck it on a pallet and we'll put these away in the shed somewhere. These are way too heavy to lift to try and get up the top of the lot there. So yeah, nearly done with salvaging everything from the Terminators. So this one is the same. The belts are still attached. The singular belts. But yeah, so I'm going to cut them as well. But to do that, I'm going to cut this guard off on this one. That one it had broken off, so it was easy. I just ripped the guard off. This one not so easy, so I'm just going to cut the guard, bend it out, and then cut those belts, and then we'll get this one off. With all those cleaned up now and around the side, ready to go to the rock when we got time, I'm now dealing with all the rubbish. So all the rubbish from the Seed Terminators was just in the shed over there because we didn't have anywhere for them to put it. So it's now in the back of here, and then I've just emptied our shed rubbish there into there as well. I've got other bins over there, but it gets a bit difficult with this. Normally we use the loader, but the loader's obviously not here. It's a bit windy, so I'm just going to shoot back over to the shed there, and there is a whole bunch of boards really that I'm going to chuck on top there so that the wind doesn't blow any of the rubbish out. Then after we've done that, we're going to go for a drive. We'll go down to the gravel and see how far along that is. Jeff's not here at the moment because it was too wet to get out there and cart. But yeah, if we're going to have this rain next week, then really it sort of stops us from doing gravel for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go see if he'll be able to get back onto it. Maybe he could come back tomorrow and cart for a couple of days until this rain comes, and just finish it off. So we'll go and have a look at that. So the pallets that the seed turners came on are these nice big pallets over here. I'm going to keep those, but I don't see any need to keep these pallets or board sides, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, and then I've got this stuff to deal with. So this is the stuff that was put on when with the old ones. So you can see we've got a pulley assembly. All this stainless steel did used to go up the back here because the chopper was lifted out for it to all fit in, so they had to reshape the back there. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Put it back, put it in the loft or in a scrap pile somewhere. Most of it can probably go to the scrap pile, and we'll keep some stuff. Yeah, those belts there, we'll keep those because they're brand new. And then we've got some nice gearbox oil, which I'll go and put in the oil room for them. And then we've actually got, if I can get my hands into it, 2 coffee mugs. So we've actually got some of these, so we might even do a competition later on in the year to win a hat and some stubby holders and maybe even some Seed Terminator coffee mugs. We'll see what we can come up with, and yeah, we've got 2 of them here, and yeah, might as well give them away, I reckon. Right, down at the gravel, and he's so close to finishing. Right up at the top here, so there's a little bit here, and that's just where they've been turning around, and he's nearly finished the whole length, apart from, I'd guess it's only going to be maybe 100 meters at the most. So from here just to there hasn't been joined. Now, to be honest, that's not a big issue. The reason being is so you're up at the actually at the south end of the paddock, so it's the most less driven area. Chaserman drivers coming out here, spreaders, whatever it is, it's not the most driven area, so this part missing isn't too much of a concern. What is a concern is there's nowhere, we started the track where the paddock started and we left it where the track was. I'll get up there, and what I'm saying is going to be a lot easier to understand, but I don't think we're going to be doing any more gravel this year. The things like this have a bit muddy. He's just not going to be able to get through it. We can't change our line because that's going to put him out in the middle of nowhere, so, and potentially get bogged. Same with like here, you can see I'm swirling around into the ute just trying to drive through it. So we'll get down here and I'll show you what I mean. Where we are here is, this is the join of the road. So just here, I'll put my window down. You can see a lot better than all the crap on my windscreen. So we've got a nice puddle of water here. I'm just in 2-wheel drive, and I'm gonna have to put it in the 4-wheel. I came through here a lot quicker, so that's why I didn't get bogged or need to go into 4-wheel, but you can see that this will not get a truck through at all, not a chance. And on the other side of the road won't either. It's a nice big puddle of water, isn't it? So that's not going to get a truck through. To drive around it is also going to be a bit dicey, a bit sketchy. I wanted this all gravelled, because this is clay, obviously, and you just slip around on it, just like where the lime is. That also, you know, planning to have that gravelled. So I wanted this all gravelled as well. It's just not going to happen. The distance that they're driving with this gravel, they just can't get the loads in a day to, you know, get a huge amount in. It's yeah, be nice to have gravel closer, but I don't. But Henry did get the. So what I was saying was Henry has done the pad here for harvest. So this is where the silo pad will be. Again, would be nice to put another layer of gravel on top of that, just so it was a bit thicker. But it's not going to happen. Yeah, I'll give Brian a call and we'll make a plan. But yeah, with this rain coming next week, fingers crossed it comes. Yeah, there's just going to be no chance to get a truck back out here. So we might do it like during the year sometime. Might pick it up again and just finish off the gravel. But yeah, I think we might be done for now. So yeah, I better make a phone call. Well, guys, I reckon I'll leave the video there. All I'm going to be doing is finish tidying up the mess that we made from the terminators, and I still also need to finish that job off over there. I haven't got to that, and it'll be tomorrow's job, but I need to weld that up over there, so that's all good. I also need to park the caravan away as well, because that's still out. But the next video, if I don't do any recording tomorrow, the next video will be the delivery of the new tractor. So yeah, that's very exciting. It's coming on Friday, so we're very excited for that. So stay tuned for that. So of course, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And as always, see you in the next one.